Yo, what's good, survivors? Welcome back to Best Survival Hints, the channel keeping you alive and kicking in the apocalypse. The world's gone full Mad Max, zombies are creeping, and you're still trying to stay fresh? That's the spirit. Today, we're diving deep into how to whip up soap in a post-apocalyptic wasteland using whatever junk you scavenge. No stores, no fancy labs, just you, some grit, and 3 badass methods to get clean. From scraping by with ash to crafting soap that's practically bougie, we've got the full playbook. This is gonna be a game changer, so grab a seat by the campfire and let's get dirty, then clean. First off, why even bother with soap when the world's a dumpster fire? Easy, fam. Hygiene isn't just about smelling like roses, it's about not becoming a walking biohazard. Dirt, sweat, and bacteria will take you out faster than a raider with a bad attitude. No doctors, no antibiotics, no mercy. Soap scrubs away grime and germs, keeping infections at bay so you can keep surviving. And the best part? You can make it from stuff you find in the ruins, ash, grease, and water. Let's break down the science real quick before we get our hands dirty. Soap's born from a chemical throwdown called saponification, fats duking it out with lye to make something that cleans like a champ. Fats can be animal grease, like deer fat, or that rancid cooking oil from a looted diner. Lye? You pull that from wood ash, no PhD required. Water? Snag it from a creek, but filter it unless you want mud in your soap. We're gonna walk you through 3 methods, from scrappy to slick, so you can stay clean no matter how bad the world gets. Ready? Let's dive into the first one. Method 1. Ash soap, down and dirty survival style. Alright, this is the bare bones, end of the world hack for when you've got nothing but a fire pit and some leftover bacon grease. It's gritty, it's raw, but it gets the job done. Here's the deal. Start by collecting ash from a fire. Hardwoods like oak or ash are your MVPs. Pine's kinda weak, but in a pinch, it'll do. Grab a bucket, toss in the ash, and pour in water, about 1 part ash to 2 parts water. Stir it like you're brewing some Wasteland potion and let it sit for 24 hours. Then, strain it through an old shirt or some rags. What's left is your lye, a murky, caustic liquid that'll burn if you're not careful, so don't get cocky. Test it to make sure it's strong enough. Drop an egg in. If it floats with a quarter showing above the water, you're golden. If it sinks, add more ash. If it bobs too high, dilute with water. Next, scrounge up some fat. Could be animal drippings from that squirrel you roasted, old lard, or even rancid fryer oil from a busted up fast food joint. Melt it down over a fire until it's warm and liquidy. Now, mix 1 part lye to 2 parts fat. Slowly pour the lye into the fat, not the other way around, or you'll have a hot mess. Stir it with a wooden stick like your life depends on it until it thickens up like pancake batter. This is called the trace stage, and it's when you know the magic's happening. Pour this goo into anything that'll hold it, cut up cans, a broken bottle, or even a hole in the dirt. Let it harden for 2 to 3 days, then pop it out and let it cure for 4 to 6 weeks in a dry spot. This soap's rough as hell, won't lather like a spa day, but it'll scrub the apocalypse off your skin and clothes. It's like the duct tape of hygiene, not pretty, but it works. Wanna step it up? Let's move to method 2. Method 2. Herb-infused soap, apocalypse spa vibes. Alright, survivors, let's say you've got a little more time and some nature to work with. This method's for when you want soap that's not just functional but feels like a flex. You're still in the wasteland, but you're gonna smell like you've got a penthouse bunker. Here's how to make it happen. First, clean up your water game. Grab water from a stream or puddle, but filter it through layers of sand, charcoal from your fire, and an old cloth. Muddy water makes garbage soap, and we're not here for that. Next, level up your lye. Take that ash water mix from method 1 and strain it a couple more times through rags or an old sock to get rid of the gritty bits. Cleaner lye means smoother soap. Now, let's get fancy with some herbs. Scavenge for stuff like chamomile, mint, or lavender, plants you might find in an overgrown field or a looted pharmacy's backyard. These aren't just for vibes. Chamomile soothes skin, mint keeps bugs away, and lavender makes you feel like you're not in a zombie flick. Soak the herbs in warm water for a bit, Then mix that herbal juice into your melted fat. Warm up your fat like before, animal grease or old oil works fine. Slowly add the lye, same 1:2 ratio, but this time, cook it low and slow over a fire for 1 to 2 hours, stirring so it doesn't burn. You're aiming for that thick, pudding-like trace again. If you're lucky enough to loot a drop of essential oil from some abandoned hippie shop, toss it in for extra swagger. Pour the mix into a mold, think old cans, plastic containers, or even a hollowed-out piece of wood. Let it set for 3 to 5 days, then cure it for 4 to 6 weeks in a dry spot. This soap's softer, smells like a dream, and might just make you the cleanest survivor in the wasteland. Pro tip: toss in some dried herbs or crushed nutshells for a scrubby texture if you want to feel extra polished. Feeling like a soap-making warlord yet? Let's crank it up to the final boss level. Method 3. Charcoal soap, post-apocalypse pro mode. This one's for when you've got some skills, maybe a looted scale, and you're ready to make soap that could pass for pre-apocalypse swag. It's precise, it's powerful, and it's got a detox kick. Here's the rundown. Start by getting your measurements tight. You want 1 part lye to 2.5 parts fat by weight. If you don't have a scale, eyeball it with a cup or jar, but don't half-ass it. Test your lye with a drop of vinegar. If it fizzes like a bad science experiment, dilute it with more water. Too weak? Add more ash. Precision's key here. Now, let's talk charcoal. This isn't just for aesthetics, it's a detox beast that'll suck impurities out of your skin like a vacuum. Make your own by burning wood in a low-oxygen setup. Think a metal can with a few holes punched in it. Crush that charcoal into a fine powder and mix in about a teaspoon per 500 grams of fat. Melt your fat, same deal. Animal grease or looted oil, and set up a double boiler. Put a can in a pot of water to keep things gentle. Slowly pour in the lye, stirring like you're crafting a masterpiece, until you hit that thick, pudding-like trace. Want to go full luxury? If you've scavenged some honey or oatmeal, toss in a pinch. Honey's a skin soother, and oatmeal's a gentle scrub for that post-apocalypse glow. Pour the mix into a mold, cans, bottles, or anything solid, and let it harden for 2 to 3 days. Then, let it cure for 4 to 6 weeks in a dry spot. This soap's dense, detoxifying, and legit enough to trade for a can of beans or a spot in the bunker. You're basically the soap king of the wasteland now. Pro tips to keep you clean and not dead before we wrap. Here's the real talk to keep you safe and your soap game strong. Lye is no joke. It'll burn your skin faster than a Raider's Molotov. Wrap your hands in cloth or scavenge some gloves. If it splashes, neutralize it with vinegar pronto. Filter your water like your life depends on it. Dirty water makes trash soap, and nobody's got time for that. Store your soap somewhere dry, or it'll turn into a slimy mess faster than you can say, "Zombie horde." Test your soap on a small patch of skin first. If it feels like sandpaper, add more fat next time. Get creative. Use old cans, bottles, or even carved wood for molds. Toss in salt for a harder bar or coffee grounds for extra scrub. Apocalypse rules mean you make the rules. Wrap up and call to action, and there you have it, survivors. You're now armed with 3 ways to make soap in the apocalypse, from scrappy ash bars to charcoal-infused swagger. This isn't just about staying clean, it's about staying alive and maybe even flexing a little in the wasteland. Drop a comment and tell us, have you tried making soap? What weird stuff did you add? Motor oil? Wildflowers? Hit that subscribe button for more best survival hints to keep you one step ahead of the end times. Share this with your bunker crew, and let's keep the apocalypse fresh. Catch you in the next one. Stay clean, stay mean, stay alive.